So, Congressman, the next hearing of the House Committee on Justice will be on April 14. Can you walk us through what will happen on that day?
Well, on April 14, it will be the first hearing after the preliminary hearing wherein we have approved the issuance of subpoena for the relevant documents and pieces of evidence that will be used during the hearings wherein we will further establish both pattern of behavior and acts committed by the Vice President. So, come February 14, ito na yung panahon. Ang tinatawag na marami na exciting part kasi dito na talaga magkakalabasa ng mga ebidensya para patunayan yung pang-aabuso sa kapangyarihan ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
And some of the documents subpoenaed by the committee, Congressman, are the statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth, or SALNs, of the Vice President during her tenure as Mayor and Vice Mayor of Davao City. Attorney Michael Poa, her legal counsel, said that he thinks these are irrelevant because the offense must be impeachable offenses and the official must be impeachable officials. And being Vice Mayor and Mayor, these are not impeachable officials. So what's your take on this?
Well, these documents, as far as I understand, are very important in establishing a pattern. Mahalaga din yan para makita natin kung paano ba lumobo talaga yung kanilang yaman bilang mga public officials na sumusweldo. Depende doon sa salary grade na meron ng posisyon nila. So that's very critical in establishing a pattern in terms of amassing ill-gotten wealth pagdating dito sa kanyang posisyon ngayon as Vice President. So that's a very important point for comparison, especially given the position that she's holding now.
And Bicol Saro Party List Representative Terry Redon has previously said that there is a 50 million gap with the net worth of VP Sara. Have you seen this also in Akbayan?
Well, that's something that we are now studying very closely, especially because come April 14, we will raise the necessary questions to clarify and really establish this pattern that I've mentioned earlier. At mahalaga kasi talaga na pag-aralan, at hindi lang pag-aralan, kundi makita ng taong bayan itong mga ebidensyang ito. Kaya nga, Victoria, talagang na-alarma tayo doon sa ginagawa ngayon ng kampo ni Vice President Sara Duterte in their attempts to delay the process, to derail the process that has been demanded by the people for a long time. This impeachment process, more than anything, is something that we owe the Filipino nation. Utang ng VP sa taong bayan ang katotohanan at utang natin sa Kongreso at sa Senado yung paglalabas ng katotohanan ito.
So what can you say about the move or the statement of Attorney Poa dismissing the SALNs of Vice President when she was Mayor and Vice Mayor of Davao City?
Well, this has been a constant strategy of her legal team, that's to dismiss the allegations against her. In fact, in the process of dismissing, they are refusing to answer really the issues at hand. So kita-kita natin, on-brand na on-brand, itong ginagawa nila na pag-dismiss, itong ginagawa nila na pag-takbo palayo doon sa mechanisms of accountability. Tandaan natin, matagal na itong mga isyong ito, taon na ang binibilang pero hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin humaharap ang Vice Presidente.
Last Friday or last week, a group of lawyers led by Attorney Israelito Torion sought from the Supreme Court a temporary restraining order against the impeachment proceedings, saying the proceedings are constitutionally and procedurally defective. Can we get your statement regarding this?
Hindi naman tayo na-surprise sa ginawang ito ng mga lawyers na allied with the Vice President. At alam naman ng lahat na kapag corrupt, ayaw talaga humarap. And obviously, this is another tactic para hindi makaharap at hindi mapanagot si VP Sara Duterte sa kanyang pang-aabuso sa kapangyarihan. So, kaya lang kasi itong nakita natin na ginagawa nila constantly to derail the process. Again, it's a great disservice to the Filipino people. Naghihintay ang taong bayan ng katotohanan. For years, itong mga questions, itong mga issues raised against her remained unanswered. At sa bawat taon na hindi sinasagot yung tanong na ito, talaga nakaka-alarma kasi nag-announce na siya itatakbo sa pagkapangulo. Occupying the second highest position in the land, it means na dapat accountable talaga siya doon sa mechanisms na ito na sa ating konstitusyon. So, kung hindi talaga siya haharap dito sa mga kasong ito, I really doubt her fitness to run for the highest position or the highest office in the country.
And Vice President Duterte has distanced herself from the petition, saying that she was not consulted by the lawyers regarding this. But then she was seen with some of the petitioners a few days later in Davao City. So is her statement believable for you?
Well, she can deny this all she wants, pero ito talaga yung style nila. This is the Sara Duterte brand of evading accountability. So mag-deny lang sila na mag-deny, pero sa dulo, kinakailangan pa rin nila humarap sa katotohanan.
But she's not required to come to the April 14 hearing, or
She's not
neither
required to,
her our lawyers.
She's not required to come to the April 14 hearing. She has forgone her chance to respond to the issues raised by our complainants with her non-answer, her non-reply na sinabit niya sa Committee on Justice. Kahit na binigay sa kanya yung opportunity for due process. Pero eventually, when the time comes na elevate ito sa Senado, kinakailangan nila harapin ito at hindi nila dapat i-delay at harangin pa yung paglilitis. Just like what they did the last time around.
But her attorney, her counsel, Attorney Michael Poa, is required to show up on April 14 because he was already subpoenaed. And Michael Poa was her chief of staff and DepEd spokesperson.
At kaya nga malaking controversy ito kasi while legal counsel siya, pero at the same time ay person of interest din siya bilang isang at this point a resource person and then eventually perhaps a witness to these cases.
How important would Attorney Poa's testimony be in the committee?
Well, alam naman natin na sa isang executive position, napakalaga yung ginagampanan ng kanyang team, no? At sila yung nakakaalam talaga ng mga nangyayari. At we hope that the Attorney Poa will cooperate really in this investigation. Panahon na para malaman din ng taong bayan yung katotohanan, lalong-lalo na doon sa kanyang stint in the DepEd.
But if he does not show up, Congressman, in the April 14 hearing, what will the committee do to compel Attorney Poa to come?
Well, napakaraming options ng House ngayon. Isa nga doon yung contempt powers nito para siya ay mapuwersa na pumunta at mag-appear doon sa ating hearings. Pero sana, wag na dumating sa punto na yun. Kung wala silang tinatago, dapat pumunta siya.
So aside from the documents that you have subpoenaed, will there be witnesses who will be questioned in the April 14 hearing?
We have yet to see the final lineup for April 14, but we are all preparing for any possibility so that we'll be able to maximize the opportunity that we have.
And one of these will be the alleged former aide of VP Duterte, who is Ramil Madriaga. What specifically do you want to hear or to ask from Madriaga?
Well, una gusto natin syempre na kanya mas ipaliwanag pa, bigyan ng detalye yung kanyang affidavit na meron tayong kopya ngayon. Tapos pangalawa, makapagtanong din ng mga paglilinaw to establish again yung acts committed by the Vice President na talaga namang impeachable. Kaya nga si Akbayan Representative Chel Jokno talaga diniin niya na dapat gawin ang lahat ng Committee on Justice para maproteksyonan at mabigyan ng safety and security measures na para kay Ramil Madriaga kasi napakalaga ng participation niya in this process. Kung makikita natin po, itong ating impeachment complaint, more or less, pareho ito nung ating inelevate sa Senate noong 19th Congress, with the exception of this evidence of the Madriaga testimony and affidavit.
May update na ba, Congressman, kung malilipat ang custody ni Ginoong Madriaga sa House of Representatives para doon sa mga pagdinig?
Wala pang update sa ngayon pero malinaw yung motion ni Congressman Chel Jokno. That is to beef up yung security at protection para sa ating witness.
Vice President Duterte has also said that the hearings being conducted in the House are fishing expeditions against her. What can you say about this?
Again, this is classic evasion. Ito na naman ay yung pag-iwas nila at tinatawag nila ng kung ano-ano yung isang proseso na accountability na enshrined sa Constitution. Noong nakaraang Kongreso, noong 19th Congress, sabi nila walang due process. Ngayon, binibigyan sila step by step by the letter of both the Constitution and the House rules and the decision of the Supreme Court. And yet, she refuses to cooperate fully with this process. Huwag kalilimutan ni VP Sara Duterte na kung gusto niya tumakbong presidente, abay dapat mag-comply siya sa Constitution. Hindi niya deserve, wala siyang moral ascendancy to run for the highest position in the land kung siya mismo ay hindi marunong sumunod sa Constitution.
So you are confident, sir, that the Supreme Court will not see any red flags, any loopholes in the ongoing process or procedures in the House Committee on Justice?
I doubt that their legal antics will get the support of the Supreme Court, and it is our hope that the Supreme Court will uphold the rule of law. Kasi kita-kita naman natin, the COJ has been very careful, very thoughtful, in following the Constitution, our rules on impeachment, and even the decision. So wala talaga silang makikitang butas dito.
And when do you expect to finish or to wrap up the hearings and then send this to the Senate?
Well, I understand the target of the leadership of the committee is to finish the process before we resume our session in May. Hopefully, pagbalik namin ng Mayo, first week of May, pag na-convene ang session, pwede na nating isubject sa boto ng plenaryo ang articles of impeachment. Nang sa ganon, sa first week pa lang ng session, maiakyat na ito sa Senado to give the Senate ample time to organize itself as an impeachment court.
Do you have the numbers for you to be able to do that, to send it to the Senate?
Well, kung titignan natin yung mga bumoto no 19th Congress for the impeachment, for the articles of impeachment, more or less, nandyan pa rin yung karamihan sa kanila. At nadagdagan pa nga ngayon tayo ng mga aliados sa House of Representatives who believe that mechanisms of accountability should apply to the Vice President at kinakailangan siyang singilin sa pagnanakaw niya at pag-aabuso sa bayan. So I'm quite confident that because of the strength of both the articles and the demand of the people for accountability, we can see this through at umakyat siya sa Senado at eventually magsimula na yung paglilitis talaga. Kasi sinabi naman ni Vice President, haharap siya sa Senado. At kung doon siya harap, abay mainam na paharapin na siya agad sa lalong madaling panahon.
Another argument nila, Congressman Percy, is yung wala namang bago dito sa mga ibinabato sa kanya this time around. Meron nga po ba tayong bagong aabangan from the House Committee on Justice hearings?
Well, hindi kasi ito usapin kung merong bago o merong walang, or kung merong mga bagong ebidensya o may bagong sinasabi doon sa kaso. Usapin ito na yung mga kasong ito hindi bago dahil hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin niya sinasagot. Hindi ito bago kasi hindi nagkaroon ng chance, hindi nagkaroon ng day in court, hindi nagkaroon ng paglilitis kasi nga hinarang nila at tumakbo sila sa Korte Suprema para harangin yung paglilitis. So again, this is not an issue of this being a recycled case. This is an issue of the refusal to face accountability and to comply with the Constitution when it comes to the impeachment process. So hindi ito usapin ito ng bago. Ang hindi bago, itong ugali ng Vice President, itong behavior niya na takbuhan ng accountability.
And how confident are you with the current composition of the Senate that these impeachment complaints will actually be discussed, that there will be an actual trial in the Senate as compared to what happened last year?
Well, we appreciate the statements of the new Senate leadership that they will give due course to this complaint. And we hope really that this case will see its day in court kasi deserve ng taong bayan ang katotohanan.